Welcome to Brand Lover, honest, real, and lively conversations for flourishing entrepreneurs and budding business owners on a mission to cultivate a heartfelt brand that connects with their purpose-driven mission. My hope is that you walk away feeling inspired and refreshed with a weekly takeaway in your back pocket that you can apply to your life or business. You have most likely heard the quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," by Jim Rohn. And it makes sense, right? Like, think about perhaps when you got caught up in the wrong crowd at high school and the decisions that flowed on from that, or maybe how that applies to a sporting team, because I know for a fact that my girls play a much better quality game of netball when they're playing with a team filled with strong players rather than the opposite, where they seem to have forgotten even how to catch the ball. But how does this apply to business? And how can you consciously handpick your own influence circle? Well, first of all, I have to point out that it does take courage. Just like breaking away from the cool group or having the guts to say no to peer pressure, it takes a certain resolve to take the steps required to invest your time, money, and energy into people who you know will help you to stay true to your own values, mission, and most importantly, life and business goals. So many ladies I speak to about their brands have drifted so far away from their original vision that they're wondering why they started their business in the first place, because they've been caught in a riptide. They're drifting and they've been going with the flow for far too long. So the single most important thing you can do to ensure you stay on track is to purposefully surround yourself with a close tribe of people who share a common thread, whether that's a mission or a cause, a life philosophy, strong values and convictions, or ideally all of the above and more, because not only will they keep you accountable, but they will encourage you to live with integrity and take the bold steps required to chase that big dream of yours. So today I want to share with you a few indicators that I have come up with that help me to choose my own influence circle, and hopefully they will help you too. Let's start with the red flags. And I'm sure there are more than I've got here, but these are ones that I really do feel are important. So number one is a really obvious ego. So for me, this comes across as big talk and no action. I like to surround myself with humble folk who are quietly going about their business and living out their purpose, because that to me is much more inspiring. Number two is that they're closed-minded. Basically, their way is the only way, and they're not open to a different perspective. Number three is that they're money hungry. And don't get me wrong, I believe that money has its place in opening doors and providing opportunities for freedom and impact, but greed has no place in business. Number four is self-centeredness. So, for example, they dominate conversations and don't reciprocate empathy. All right. So now that we have those icky things out of the way, here's what I like to focus on. Number one is quiet, authentic confidence. Number two is vulnerability. They're not afraid to admit when they've made a mistake or are wrong about something. Number three is that they are open-minded. Whilst they have their own values they abide by, they're open to feedback and ideas to help them reach their own vision. Number four, they don't shy away from honesty and straight talk. This used to make me really uncomfortable, to be honest, but as I grow older, I realize just how integral it is to keep on track in your business. That honesty is so important. You need people surrounding you to tell you when they believe that you're making a wrong move, or I don't know, what they think of an idea that you've had, etc. So the last one is that they are selfless. They help others without a second thought and always encourage and cheer on their peers when they have a win, particularly when they are going through difficult circumstances themselves. So a few questions you might like to ask yourself around this are, when you're sort of assessing and handpicking your influence circle, are they doing something or living out their life in a way that I admire or find inspiring? Do they reflect the integrity of character that my values align with? And are they complementary to my own desires? And there you have it. I'm sure I could share much more with you, but these might help you to assess your current circle of influence with a different perspective and be a little more, become a little more conscious of who you surround yourself with to impact your mindset and business growth in the future. And if you do feel that potentially it is time for a change, I want to remind you that yes, change is scary, but it is 100% necessary for growth. So if you're sort of feeling like you know that you're the business network that you're part of, or maybe it's a coaching group, you don't quite fit in, maybe you are a little bit of a black sheep, that is certainly an indicator that it is time to go out and be proactive, be conscious about who you're surrounding with. Choose your business associations wisely, because these undoubtedly overflow into personal growth and connections, and also impact how you're showing up as a leader in other areas of your life. So consider this podcast as a sign, an opportunity for a fresh start to create the person you know you need to become to fulfill your deeper desires for yourself, your business, and your family. And as I wrap up, I want to remind you that enrollments are closing today, the Monday, the 4th of December, to my intimate mastermind experience, the Kindred Collective. So if you are seeking true, authentic connection, a new influence circle, and unwavering support to accelerate your brand in 2024, click the link below and secure your place. If you found this episode inspiring or helpful, I invite you to share the link with another woman in business or someone who needs to hear this message. Every woman we can support to grow a meaningful, profitable brand is another woman who is free to live a purposeful life for herself and be more present for her family. None of us are alone in the challenges we face in business, but the solution can start with a gift from someone else, and it could be a podcast episode just like this one. Thank you for listening.